So when you have to run errands or, be someplace, and then you're like, oh, look at the time. I actually have time to do something else. So, you make some deposits at the bank, you, you get something quick for the road. Yeah, I know a few racetrack gas stations in Sunoco's. I've been to a few in my day. Gotta love the Polar Pop at the Circle K, of course. And then you're like, you know what, we still have more time to kill, so why don't I just do my Christmas shopping while I'm at it? And then I can just be there, 5 minutes before and everyone's happy. Wrong. You see, because as soon as you think, okay, I can be on my way to this place now, oh no, something unfortunate happened where it's a green light, but you're like, wait a minute, why am I like 28 cars behind? Well, my friend, you should have saw that it was like 7 a.m. and, to work traffic is like all over the place here. And that's a thing, like, I cannot stand sitting in traffic because, it's like I'm DJing with my own foot. Like, okay, so I'm on the brake. Okay, listen for the volume. Now I hit the gas. Now I'm on the brake again. Now I'm riding the brake a bit. And now I'm stalling. So, I don't know, now's the time to switch CDs because, my car has a CD player. It's a 2017 Mitsubishi. For some reason, it's got a CD player. Gotta love it. Helps sales. Yeah, you gotta love that. Yeah, you gotta support the artist somehow. But, it's not only traffic, but around this time of year, you also got long lines. And long lines are like, why can't the CVS have Fast Pass? And you just schedule your times here. Okay, I'm gonna pick up some Nesquik at 2:30, and then be on my way. Head over to Macy's for a sweater at 4:25. Yeah, I think we're gonna make good time here. Instead of sitting in these long lines, because Black Friday was last week, and we weren't here on Black Friday. We could have given you a somber Saturday. But instead, we just discarded that video completely because, yes, something was filmed. And we didn't release it because circumstances. Well, anyway, let's get the show started. It's No Shave November, the last day of No Shave November, so let's dive right into it. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Rob Rodriguez, and I hope you had a great Thanksgiving last week, and I hope you were safe on Black Friday. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you can resume playing your Christmas movies and Christmas music and wearing them ugly sweaters because you're in the holiday spirit. Isn't that right, Freeform? Now, I'm sure you've seen this in movies, cartoons. But there's always an angel on the left shoulder and a demon on the right shoulder, expressing conflict for a decision you have to make. Now, most of the time, we all listen to the bad idea because, we are who we are, and nothing's going to change that, except when a bad idea comes to mind and you're like, oh, what the heck, it's Christmas, or something like that. Yes, just imagine your inner conscience is like saying, why would you pay full price? You had a coupon for 10% off. Yeah, apparently your conscience is an inner Seinfeld. Like you remember Spider-Man 3, where for some reason Peter Parker became emo Peter. Like, remember that awkward scene? Like, he became kind of dark. It was like Anakin Skywalker in Revenge of the Sith. Like, what happened to you? This isn't who you were. Like, what happened to the high-pitched voice guy who cries all the time in red latex? We want that guy back. Oh, don't worry, you'll see him again really soon. Like, I know every now and again when I go to a bar and grill or something, I'm like, do I want a soda? No, of course not. I want to try an Angry Orchard or a screwdriver. Well, I might add, I had a screwdriver for the first time this past weekend. You'd think it looks like orange juice. It's not orange juice, my friend. It tastes good for a second. And then all of a sudden I'm like, when did I down a whole bottle of cologne? Of course, all the things you do can also be mood-based, you know? Like, you usually say no. Like, take Green Eggs and Ham, for example. It's a great children's book. In fact, it's the first book I ever learned to read or memorized, but Dr. Seuss is an okay book series. So think about it. You got a crotchety old guy and then some fun-loving, like, not sure, like, vacuum cleaner salesman or something. And he's like, do you like green eggs and ham? Now, think about this. If someone went door to door and they're like, have you heard the good news? I emptied out my refrigerator and these perishable foods will go bad in like the next 24 hours, so you must eat them now. So I say, do you like omelets and pigs in a blanket? I swear, we got some milk to go with that too. For starters, I don't want that, and I think you should report to yourself to the authorities if you even think about donating that to the Salvation Army, my friend. But yes, Green Eggs and Ham is a great book. And listen, if the man has to eat it in the ocean, like, just think about it. You always wondered what a Krabby Patty tastes like. This guy's eating food in the water, for crying out loud. And he's like, oh, I like it. But think about it. It's like if you have a kid and your child made you something, and then you're like, wow, that is good. And then like the drink is like halfway through the middle of the straw here. Oh yeah, that's delicious. You could go into the culinary arts, my friend. Okay, so remember back in the day with this show, the premise really was I'm a guy who can't move on from the past, collects VHS, doesn't know anything past 2015. But you know, over time, as the weeks progressed, I've actually kind of dived into modern day culture. And, you know, it really just feels kind of wrong, actually. Like, is this music? Like, apparently, blowing bubbles into milk and just talking into a megaphone is now singing, apparently. Yes, and like, remember, like, ringtones? Apparently, that can be a top 10 hit now. Well, we have a lot of show to fill, so that being said, I'm gonna need a minute. So, I mean, really, this is kind of irrelevant now, because TV is kind of losing its audiences to premium, the internet, DVR. But, you know, commercials are still all over the place. Oh, I'm sorry, not commercials, you know. Because these days we call them advertisements. And they're a pain in the ad, I should say. I hate that I said that. Moving on. I mean, really, what is a commercial's purpose? Like, we're either half watching, half listening, or it's just background noise until our program comes back on. In fact, this is why I don't even watch live TV anymore. Because, you know, you can't skip commercials unless, you know, you were a little trigger happy with the rewind button on live TV. But, yeah, it's like the commercial breaks are getting a little longer, and then everything's trying to sell you something or inform you about something. Like, last I checked, that's what Google was for. But no, that's another story. Speaking of Google, YouTube. Like, we can't even skip certain ads anymore. Like, do we need another nationwide commercial? And by the way, how come we can skip State Farm commercials, but we can't skip nationwide? In fact, Geico is like a mind trick because those commercials are only like 7 seconds. How about this? We've discussed this many times, but movie trailers are on TV all the time. And it's like you're trying to sell us a movie, but then a lot of the times it's a teaser. You have like a lot of scenes that aren't even in the movie. Like, hence, they're re-releasing Deadpool 2, but in a PG-13 format for 1 week only. Yes, 1 week only. You heard that. Like what was like 2 weeks not good enough for you? Like, was relieving of your contract immediately also not an option? So the point is, movie trailers, they usually pitch their movie and then you see it in theaters and it's nothing like what you saw in the trailer. Because, I'm not a horror guy, but I have to take the viewer's word for it who saw said movie and say, oh, it's not as scary. And then I say, oh, really? So then I look at it, and then, despite my age, now I have to like sit through night after night of not even watching TV shows with commercials in it. So I might have to update Netflix eventually. It's time for that weekly list known as the possibility list. It's kind of like when someone asks you, man, can you really be more PC? Like, what's up with that? Come on, I'm a Mac. Alright, this week's list is titled 5 Rejected Skittles Flavors. Now, last time we did a list like this, it was rejected M&M flavors. And that didn't go as well, Take a look. Meatloaf. Number 4, Raisin. Number 3, Coconut. Number 2, Toothpaste. And number 1, 8 rejected... I can do this. 8 rejected M&M's flavors. Hard liquor. Alright, and that is the possibility list for you this week. So this time around, we're going to try to keep our composure. And, keep a straight face. Because the last thing you want to see is me smile. Okay, maybe you do want to see that, but I'm going to be stubborn about it. Alright, so number 5, mint. Number 4, granola. Number 3, cherry cough syrup. Number 2, cola. And number 1, 5 rejected Skittles flavors. Starburst. Alright, and that is the possibility list for you this week. Alright, that is the show for you this week. You know how to follow me on social media. Until next time, please check out the second channel. We're doing some semi-construction on there. And I will see you next time. Alright.